Today I will be recapping the animation series called The Battle Through the Heavens. Spoilers ahead, relax and enjoy. Episode 1 begins with a story explaining to us about a universe. In this universe there is no place magic can be found. The only energy the people was able to rely on that universe is called the Dachai energy. This kind of energy is so strong that people comes from all over the world to access this kind of energy. In the present day, a lot of people are gathered at one of the biggest family in the dynasty known as the Shia's family. They are gathered to check the level of their energy. The son of the Zhao family called Zhao Yan has been called out to check his energy. On the other hand, meeting has been held in the household of Zhao. Zhao Zhan, who is the head of the Zhao family, is having a business conversation with his business competitor, who is the head of GLI house. Zhao Zhan gives GLI an invitation letter inviting him for his son's upcoming marriage. GLI becomes jealous upon seeing the letter, because he discovers that his son is getting married to a girl from one of the richest families in the dynasty called the Yanlin family. He knows if the marriage is successful, this means Zhao Zhan will be all-powerful. Zhao Zhan notices his jealousy and laughs really hard. Meanwhile, his son Zhao Yan is testing his energy in front of everyone, but unfortunately his powers is at the lowest level, which is level 3, making the other people to laugh at him. To his annoyance, but his adoptive sister arrives and consoles him. She goes to check her own energy, and it turns out to be the highest level, which is level 9. This made him more devastated as he thinks he is not worthy to be part of the Zhao family. Due to his low level of energy, the bride of Zhao Yan called Nalan later enters the meeting and presents a very powerful pearl to Zhao Zhan. She explains that anyone who takes the pearl can access the Dachai powers. But Zhao Zhan feels bothered, wondering why she wants to hand over a very powerful pearl like that to him, and ask her what she really wants in return. She replied saying she wants to cancel the marriage with his son. Zhao Zhan is furious when he hears this because he knows the kind of shame and embarrassment it will bring to their family. They argue for a long time, and Zanjin, who doesn't want to afford that kind of embarrassment, threatens to point a sword at her, but it turns out that she has very powerful guards on her own. During the argument, Zanyan interrupts them, asking if it's because of his look she's not marrying him. But now Lan doesn't care if he is handsome or not, she just doesn't want the marriage because he is a loser. She says she won't marry a guy who is weak and doesn't even know how to control his powers. Nalan then proceeds to give them a final deal on settling the matter, which is she's giving Zhao Yan 3 years to train, and after that they will fight each other. If she wins the fight, the marriage will be cancelled. To avoid shame and embarrassment to his father, he decided to accept her request, even though he believes he won't still be able to defeat the powerful Nalan after 3 years. But still he needs to try so he can prove everybody wrong that he's not a weakling. Episode 2 begins with gossips everywhere about Zhao Yan making a big mistake in accepting the deal to Nalan, because he is not strong enough to defeat Nalan in a fight. Sadly, Zhao Yan is really aware of all these rumors about him and is really depressed. His adoptive sister sees his mood, knowing he might do anything stupid at his state, decides to follow him wherever he goes. On his way, Zhao Yan meets with those same set of people who normally laughs and makes fun of him. They mock him, saying he is too weak, and he managed to accept such a request to Nalan. Zhao Yan couldn't take these insults anymore and decides to fight the guy among them who always bother him a lot. Zhao Yan is beaten by the guy without him putting much efforts. His sister arrives to save him, but he doesn't like when she involves herself in his affairs. They made fun of him more, and angrily he summons all the powers he has out of him and attacks the guy, but still ends up defeated. Depressed about all these, he runs away inside the forest. While running, he keeps having memories on how everyone in the dynasty sees him as a joke, even to the extent of his bride wanting to cancel the marriage with him because he's weak. He arrives at his mother's grave and weeps badly. His father watches him from behind and felt really bad for him, promising himself to fight this battle for his son. Yao Yan knows that 3 years is too short to gain enough powers to defeat Nalan, and weeps really bad, believing the kind of embarrassment that will befall his family if he loses the fight. Suddenly, the ring his mother gave him before she died started to shine, and as the ring comes out, an old man in white appears from it. The man tells him that he can help him increase his powers and other to defeat Nalan, and will also train him in martial arts to make him stronger. Zhao Yan is so happy hearing and accepted the old man as his master. For the training to begin, the man gives him a note containing the items he must buy before he begins the training. These are very expensive items, but Zhao Yan has no choice but to find money to purchase them and change his life forever. On the other hand, a head of GLI house called Jioli is furious because she out yet accepted the deal, which means his competitor Zhao Zhan will be ahead of him, but as his son whispers something in his ears, this gives him a perfect idea to handle the situation. July laughs really hard, and with evil smiles on their face, we know something is about to go wrong. That was how this episode ended. In episode 3, Xiao Yan is seen by his sister in the mountains, who goes to meet him, noticing he's in a good mood, especially when he is talking really nice to her, which hasn't happened in a long time. Xiao manages to ask her to borrow him some money so he can use it to purchase those items his master asked from him. As he is about to explain more, his sister gives him a golden car, and they both enter the market to purchase the items. They successfully find the items they were looking for, and as they are about to head back, they notice some men following them and runs to lose trace of them, but as they get to the staircase, the men stops them, and it turns out that those men were sent by GLI. These men are trying to annoy him so he can put up a fight with them, but as he remembers his master's words of not engaging in fights until after his training, he quickly grabs his sister's hand and they both get into a hiding spot, making the men lose trace of them. Jelai Bai Sun later arrives at the market to help manifest his father's plan. He is so rude that he doesn't care about the people's life, especially when he hears his men has lost trace of Xiao Yan. Xiao Yan sees a lot of GLI by men looking for them and causing trouble, and then he tells his sister to head back home while he will deal with those men. Suddenly he gets surrounded by GLI by men, and they all goes to fight him, but he has no match for them and tries to escape, but GLI by Sun stops him. It turns out that GLI by plan is to kill Xiao Yan, so the deal will be cancelled as GLI by Sun tries to kill him. His sister comes to his rescue and saves him. Jelai by Sun senses the Xiao family guards coming their way and decides to leave the fight for another day and leaves. Xiao Yan gives all the items he bought to his master, who uses the items to make a liquid potion immediately. He begins Xiao Yan trainings firstly by teaching him how to produce and control fire. To his master's amazement, Xiao Yan is a really fast learner who finally able to control his fire for the first time, because this is absolutely difficult due to his energy is at level 3. But suddenly this creates a problem for him while using those excessive powers, as he starts to vomit blood and then faints, and that was how this episode ended. I will be recapping the next episode soon, so don't miss out. As always, if you liked what you saw, subscribe to the channel. I'll be uploading a lot of videos just like this, so I'll see you on the next one.